Imagine going on a hike with your closest friends, only to find yourselves trapped in a remote, eerie forest surrounded by something unnatural. This is exactly what happens in The Ritual, a chilling survival horror film that dives deep into the darkest corners of human fear and supernatural terror. Released in 2017 and directed by David Bruckner, The Ritual is not just another horror movie. It's a test of friendship, sanity, and survival against a force more ancient than any of us can understand. In today's video, we're going to explore the spine-tingling journey of four friends who get more than they bargained for when they venture into the Swedish wilderness. But it's not just about the scares. We'll dive into the psychological layers of the film, the guilt, the trauma, and the haunting decisions that follow them into the forest. What really makes this movie worth talking about? Why is it a hidden gem in the horror genre? Well, The Ritual combines elements of survival horror, the supernatural, and psychological tension to create an experience that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Along the way, we'll uncover lesser-known facts, explain the movie's deeper meaning, and break down why the ending will leave you questioning everything. Stay tuned until the end of the video because, trust me, there's more to this film than meets the eye. You won't want to miss out on our takeaways. Welcome to Movies Review, your go-to channel for the best movie discussions. If you love horror or just enjoy well-crafted stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a deep dive like this one. Let's get started. The Ritual opens with a brutal and haunting moment: the death of one of the group of friends, Robert. This tragic event sets the stage for a journey of survival, guilt, and psychological turmoil. The story follows four friends, Luke, Dom, Phil, and Hutch, who decide to take a hiking trip through the Swedish wilderness to honor their fallen friend Robert after his untimely death. They hope to get away from their daily lives and reconnect with nature, but things quickly take a dark turn. From the very beginning, the atmosphere is thick with tension. As they hike deeper into the forest, they encounter strange, unsettling signs, odd markings on trees, and a sense that something is watching them. As the friends try to push through their unease, it becomes clear that they are not alone. The forest holds ancient secrets, and something supernatural is lurking just beyond their reach. The group's journey starts off innocently enough, but their seemingly innocent choice of path leads them into the heart of a mysterious and ancient force. The tension builds slowly as they realize they've wandered into a place that doesn't just threaten them physically, it preys on their fears and weaknesses. There's an eerie presence in the forest, and it's only a matter of time before they are forced to confront something far more terrifying than any of them could have imagined. Without giving too much away, the film's core mystery revolves around the presence of a creature that is as old as the forest itself. The supernatural elements aren't immediately clear, but they slowly reveal themselves in disturbing ways. As they venture deeper into the wilderness, each step they take becomes more perilous, and the line between reality and nightmare blurs. The plot balances survival horror with a psychological exploration of guilt, loss, and the strength of friendships. Each character's personal struggles and past decisions come to the forefront as they face their worst fears, both from the forest and their own minds. What started as a trip for remembrance becomes a fight for survival, not only against the creature, but also against their internal demons. The heart of The Ritual lies in its characters. At the core is Luke, played by Rafe Spall, whose internal conflict drives much of the film. Luke is a man haunted by guilt after failing to protect his friend Robert during a robbery gone wrong. His sense of failure and guilt follows him throughout the movie, becoming a key part of his character arc. As the events unfold, it's clear that the forest isn't just a physical threat. It forces Luke to confront his own demons. Luke's relationships with the other three members of the group provide additional depth to the story. Dom, Sam Troughton, Phil, Arsha Ali, and Hutch, Robert James Collier, each bring their own personal baggage and weaknesses to the table. Dom's loud, brash personality contrasts with Luke's more reserved, thoughtful nature, creating tension early on. Phil, who seems outwardly calm, hides a deeper fear, while Hutch serves as the leader figure, trying to keep the group together. As the terror of the forest intensifies, the group dynamics shift, and the cracks in their relationships become apparent. The acting is outstanding, with Rafe Spall's portrayal of Luke standing out in particular. Spall captures the emotional depth of his character, a man tormented by the death of his friend and struggling with the pressure of his own perceived failure. As the film progresses, the audience can feel Luke's inner turmoil and watch as he attempts to redeem himself, not just for his actions, but for his friends as well. The performances from the rest of the cast are equally strong. Troughton and Ali, in particular, manage to infuse their roles with both tension and realism, with their fear and desperation growing as the group descends deeper into the woods. Robert James Collier's portrayal of Hutch adds a layer of complexity, making him a source of authority, yet his own vulnerabilities gradually come to light. Each actor contributes to the mounting sense of dread, and together, they create a group that feels real, relatable, and at times, heartbreaking. The emotional depth in the acting helps elevate the horror, making the stakes feel higher and the terror more personal. As they face the unknown, their fears and desires play a pivotal role in shaping how the story unfolds. The chemistry among the actors is undeniable, and it's their dynamic that keeps the audience invested in the outcome. The setting of The Ritual, the Swedish wilderness, is more than just a backdrop for the film. It becomes a character in itself. The dense forest is oppressive, its towering trees looming over the characters as they attempt to navigate through it. The filmmakers expertly use the natural landscape to create an atmosphere of isolation, making it clear that the characters are completely cut off from the outside world. The forest feels ancient, its deep shadows and twisted branches suggesting something more sinister than just a natural environment. The cinematography in The Ritual plays a huge role in enhancing the sense of dread. The camera angles are carefully chosen to evoke a feeling of unease, whether it's the long, wide shots of the forest or the close-ups of the characters' faces. Every frame contributes to the growing tension. The tight, claustrophobic shots of the forest's undergrowth create a sense of being trapped, as if the characters are not only lost in the forest, but also in their own minds. Lighting is another key element in the film's visual style. The daylight scenes often feel washed out, creating an unnatural, dreamlike quality, while the night scenes are drenched in darkness, adding to the sense of fear and uncertainty. Shadows are used masterfully to hide threats, keeping the audience on edge as they try to predict what lurks just beyond the trees. The forest, with its dark corners and hidden depths, is never fully revealed, allowing the imagination to take over and heightening the terror. The overall effect of the cinematography is that it draws the viewer into the world of the film, making the forest not just a setting, but a threatening, almost living presence. Every part of the wilderness feels alive, and the cinematography makes sure we understand that this is not a place you want to get lost in. At its core, The Ritual is about guilt, survival, and the impact of nature on the human psyche. The supernatural elements in the film are not just random scares. They serve as a metaphor for the characters' internal struggles. Luke, haunted by the death of his friend, is the primary example of this. His personal guilt is intertwined with the forest's supernatural force, suggesting that his greatest fear is not the creature lurking in the woods, but the truth he's been avoiding about himself. The forest itself is symbolic. It represents both the unknown and the uncontrollable. It's vast, dark, and ancient, much like the fears and regrets the characters carry with them. As they venture deeper into the woods, they not only become physically lost, but also metaphorically lost within their own minds. The deeper they go, the more they confront their own weaknesses and past mistakes. The creature that terrorizes the group is another important symbol. It's an ancient, godlike being that has been worshipped by a pagan cult for centuries. This creature represents nature's terrifying power and its ability to consume those who dare to trespass on its sacred ground. The supernatural horror is not just about the creature itself, but about the terror of being trapped in a place that is beyond human comprehension. The creature is a reminder that some forces of nature are beyond control, and in the forest, the characters are just helpless beings trying to survive. When it comes to horror, The Ritual stands out by focusing more on psychological terror than graphic violence. The horror isn't in what's seen, but in what's felt. The tension builds gradually, creating an atmosphere of dread that is as unsettling as the supernatural occurrences themselves. The horror is rooted in the unknown, the feeling that something is always watching, waiting to pounce, but never fully revealing itself. The creature is terrifying not because of its physical appearance, but because of its otherworldly nature. It's something that doesn't belong in the human world, a force that operates by its own rules. Its presence is felt long before it's seen, and this slow build-up is what keeps the audience on edge. There are moments where the horror is almost too much to bear, but it's the psychological elements, the creeping sense of isolation, fear, and paranoia that truly make this film stand out. The pacing of the film is deliberate. Rather than relying on cheap jump scares, The Ritual builds its terror slowly, giving the audience time to become immersed in the atmosphere. Each encounter with the supernatural is met with increasing fear and disbelief, as the characters realize that they cannot escape the forest, or the horrors it holds. As the film builds to its climax, the twists and revelations come at a breakneck pace. Without giving away spoilers, it's safe to say that the ending is as haunting as it is thought-provoking. The film's conclusion offers a blend of closure and mystery, leaving viewers to interpret the events in their own way. It's an ending that doesn't just wrap up the plot, but challenges the audience's understanding of what they've seen. The final moments of the movie reflect the psychological journey Luke has undergone. It's a moment of catharsis, but also one of realization. The supernatural elements are revealed in full, and their true significance becomes clear. The film's ending will leave you questioning what is real, what is imagined, and what it truly means to survive. In the end, The Ritual is a film that balances supernatural horror with emotional depth. The twists aren't just there to shock, they serve as a natural extension of the characters' personal journeys. The film's conclusion resonates with the themes of guilt, survival, and the power of nature, making it a truly memorable experience for horror fans. To wrap up, The Ritual is a standout film in the horror genre, blending supernatural terror with psychological tension. Its greatest strength lies in its atmosphere. The haunting Swedish wilderness becomes a character in itself, adding layers of suspense and dread with every step the characters take. The performances, especially from Rafe Spall, are emotionally charged, driving the narrative forward as the group grapples with both external and internal forces. The slow-building tension and focus on psychological horror instead of cheap scares create a truly immersive experience, making it an unforgettable journey into the unknown. However, no movie is without its flaws. Some viewers might find the pacing a bit slow at times, especially in the middle of the film when the supernatural elements aren't fully revealed. The plot can feel predictable at moments, and while the character development is strong for Luke, some of the supporting characters are left somewhat underexplored. These minor issues don't take away from the overall experience, but they are worth noting for a more critical viewer. All in all, I'd highly recommend The Ritual to anyone who enjoys psychological horror, survival thrillers, or films that explore the darker aspects of human nature. It's a movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat while making you think long after the credits roll. If you're a fan of atmospheric tension and a slower, more methodical build-up, this one's definitely worth watching. So, what do you think? Have you seen The Ritual? What are your thoughts on the horror, the characters, and the overall storyline? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this review, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Movies Review for more in-depth movie discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.